Follow the buzzard.
I think Ray wants to go to one of the Comic Cons. I'm not sure if it's Liverpool or Manchester. Yeah, but she's talking because there's somebody there that she wants to see. She was freaking out the other. I don't know. I forgot now because
Helena Bonham Carter.
I don't know because she was freaking out about. No, it's not Helena Bonham Carter.
Do you know she's my weird crush?
What's weird
about crushing on her?
I know, but some
she's fucking fit.
She is, but there's some people that just don't like it and stuff like that. I said she is my proper weird celebrity crush.
I wouldn't say that's a weird crush. I wouldn't call it weird. I've got a weird crush. My weird crush would be Sarah Millican. And
yeah, I can relate to that. I would as well.
It's a weird crush. Well, it's because she's funny and she just literally just. I am attracted to that.
She's a cake pigeon.
Yeah.
I remember she was on a show and she goes, "I'm not lonely. I'm not lonely."
Is she the Cockney one? Is it?
No, she's from
that accent. No, she's Geordie.
Oh, Geordie. No, I don't know where I got Cockney from. Yeah, Geordie. I know what you mean now.
You could say, I tell you whose wife is bloody fit. What's her name now? David Mitchell's wife.
Victoria.
Victoria Mitchell. Fucking hell.
Off Only Connect.
Yeah.
Hello there, and welcome to the Geeky Dad Strike Back, Season 2, Chapter 12, Judge Dredd. I am the law.
I'm the law.
I'm your host, Ian Duffy, and this week I'm joined by Mike Shelshire.
Hey!
And Craig Edwards.
Howdy.
Finally, he said howdy, said a bloody howdy, because that was just doing my head in.
I just felt like doing it 3 times this time, because I knew you'd be happy.
Yes, of course, it triggers. Okay, how's everybody been? How you been, Mike?
I'm good, yeah. I'm fine.
How about you, Craig?
Yeah, good. Excited for, I would say, the 7th of August, because obviously that's when I go Disney Paris, but I'm kind of more excited for the 6th at the minute, because that's when a massive anime episode's going to drop. So, can't wait.
Is it the last episode of it? It's Attack on Titan, by any chance?
Is it balls?
No, then what is it then?
It's an episode of One Piece, and it's where Luffy goes into Gear 5. So, apparently as well, they've been collaborating with Warner Brothers, because a lot of his abilities for Gear 5 is kind of like Toon Force. So they've been...
That was that flying over my head. I have no idea what was going on about.
Yeah. I'm lost as well.
They've been collaborating with Warner Brothers Looney Tunes for the sound effects and stuff, from what I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for that. Cause,
that is fucking awesome, to be fair.
Because obviously...
genuinely.
Because like I said, it's basic. His power is basically it's like Toon Force power, I said. So some of the scenes that he does, you can just see where the Wile E. Coyote gets smacked on the head or something, he flattens down, or any of the characters that happens to Luffy, he looks like an accordion at one bit, so you can probably obviously see the accordion sound effect or something coming out of him. But like I said, just got to see how that happens on the 6th of August.
Oh. I'm sure when we do when you're back from Disneyland, you can tell us all about it.
Oh, I sure will.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited to know what Disneyland Paris is like, because it's like the poor man's Disneyland, isn't it?
Well, the last time I went was when I was 15 with school, but like I said, it has, obviously, that's 20 years ago, and it's apparently got a hell of a lot better, but it's it's decent enough. A lot of people still go to it, and so, like I said,
Do you remember when they used to call it Euro Disney?
yeah, they did, didn't they? They were on about bringing one to England, weren't they?
Yeah, at one point, but I don't think they could get the land that they wanted, like because it was like going to be huge. So, well, there's not that much land in the UK.
I know. I was going to say, where do you fucking put it?
Little fun fact. So my cousin, I'd say it was third cousin. So we have the same great grandparents. So it's my dad's cousin's daughter, Rosemary. She was one of the first people to be hired for Euro Disney when it first opened. She was in that scene, The Echo.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, little fun fact. I remember going into my auntie's
terrible
house
now
all the
because we're
time.
just fucking with Ian's ADHD on purpose. Well, let's stop doing that.
Yeah, I always remember going into my auntie's house. She had a photograph of it, like a promo photo with her in a Euro Disney jacket. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, like I say, a lot of it's changed now, and like I said, it's got quite a lot of stuff there. Like, obviously, it's got all the Marvel side to it now, and that, so, and the Star Wars bit. So,
does it actually have a Star Wars bit?
Yeah. Let me get up and see what it's called.
No, I think they changed Space Mountain.
Because I've seen shit tons of like videos of the one in where is it? Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen loads of videos of like that.
So you've got
the actors are brilliant.
You got Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain. Welcome to Support. Oh, sorry. Welcome to Starport, a Star Wars encounter. Star Tours, The Adventures Continue. Although I might have to ride that like 50 times because apparently it's got like 50 different versions of it that you go around. So you're in like a transport ship, and it just takes you around. There's like 50 different scenarios of you being chased or dodging and weaving in and out of stuff.
One thing I do love about what Disney do is they've got loads of entertainment that goes on in between you walking around. Yeah. So people slow down so the queues don't seem as long. It's like, that is incredibly clever. They need to do that in fucking Alton Towers, because in Alton Towers they've got shit all that goes on. You just walk around, you get in a queue, and you have to wait for 2 hours in fucking heat and like nearly die, and then you finally get onto a freaking ride, and it goes around for like 2 minutes.
I don't know what they'd have going around the fucking Alton Towers.
I mean, I love the ride in Alton Towers, but like, there's literally nothing else. Like, there's nobody. Like, last time I was there, I think there was a guy doing bubbles. I was like, is that it? Like, is that what you do to entertain the kids?
One of the rides at this Disneyland in Paris as well, though, is a Spider-Man ride, and you're in front of like a 3D screen in front of you that tracks your hand movements, and it's obviously got the new Spider-Man Tom Holland, and you've got to do like the web shooting things with your fingers, and it tracks that doing it, and every time you do that with your hand, like knock it forward, it shoots a web onto the screen, and you've got to web all these little like mini robot stuff and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Try pulling your cock out and see if that works.
I will be tossed out the park. Maybe on the last day.
Sorry.
Crashed and burned and that, didn't it?
What did he say?
I said then they'll ask you to leave the park.
Probably.
What was I going to say? I've never been to Euro Disney. I've been to Disneyland in Anaheim in California. Went there when I was 7.
The other shit. The other shit Disneyland.
That's Disney World. That.
Yeah, World.
Disney World in Florida. Disneyland was the original, so that's in Anaheim. So I went over a few days. I went to their Universal Studio, and then we went to San Francisco, went to Alcatraz, which for a 7-year-old was quite boring.
I've been the Florida one.
Yeah, I can't really imagine like kids enjoying going to see Alcatraz. Actually,
Also, it was
being
really
very
boring.
exciting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is a prison. This is like only 2 people ever escaped from here.
Was there? I always thought it was only just one.
2 people escaped. One of them died on the attempt. He escaped.
Oh, yeah.
He just died.
They drown and get eaten by sharks.
Drowned.
Oh, okay. What was it? Yes, but they had the Star Tours there, so I think I must have made my mum go on that ride about 10 times. So the entire time we were there, I just kept like going on there every morning, then at the end of the day, every day for a few days that we were there. What else? I remember getting my head stuck in the bars as well. Waiting for the monorail to take us in. The first day, my head got stuck between the bars.
You were like, I'll just stick my head through the bars.
Yep, exactly. So that was quite
your massive freaking ears just stopped you from going back again.
I don't know how I got back out, but yeah, it was crazy. So, has anybody been watching anything new we want to talk about?
Yeah, I've been watching The Bear. It's really fucking good.
What's it about?
It's literally just about someone setting up a restaurant in New York. He's actually a very well trained chef, so he's worked under like Michelin star chefs, but he gets left a restaurant by I think his uncle, and when he first goes in. Everyone's stuck to their like guns. They're like, we do not change anything. And he's like Michelin star trained, and he's like, well, no, I want to change this and I want to change that. Nobody likes it. Then he brings in another chef who's a female, and she's well trained as well, and everyone hates her. And at first, there's lots of like sort of like infighting going on. But eventually it starts like to work, but then lots of fuck ups happen. I don't want to sort of like spoil it too much, but it is absolutely brilliant. And as someone who's worked in something similar to that, I can see it is very factual. Like that is what it's like in them sort of places. Like some days are good, some days are bad. Some days you'll feel like killing each other. It's good. It's really good. It's fantastic.
I mean, I have seen it's been suggested to me for like absolutely weeks on end. So I will eventually get around to watching it. But yeah, it's on your list. Craig, what about you?
Well, I've been watching. Well, I've already finished it because it's only 5 episodes. Because it's part 1 of season 3. It's an anime on Netflix called Record of Ragnarok. And
okay, what's that about?
It's brilliant. It's basically the gods versus humans. So basically, all the gods from like all different religions, like Greek, Roman, Hindu, even Christianity and stuff like that, have all come together. Basically,
I think I'd like this.
Basically, come and said, "Is it time to wipe all the humans out?" I think I can't remember at the beginning of it, and it was something like 1,000 years ago decided, and they voted no, but this time they voted yes. But the humans have a chance to fight, and they have a tournament, so it's the first one.
Hell.
I think it's like to have the one who wins 7 matches first is the winner.
Craig, what did you say it was called?
Record of Ragnarok. But
okay.
It's all against like people from all the humans. They use Valkyries. The Valkyries want to save the humans, so they join up with the humans and they transform into a weapon form, basically, or something like that. So, and I'm not being funny. It sounds bad what I'm going to say, but this show makes you fall in love with Jack the Ripper. I have never wanted to be more familiar with, because Jack the Ripper's one of the humans who fights for the humans. they bring Jack the Ripper into it, and oh my god, he is fantastic. But
okay, I mean,
it is brilliant.
this sounds well up my street. I'm watching
It is
this.
absolutely. It is really good. Like I said, but it's called Record of Ragnarok. It is absolutely fantastic. You need to give it a watch. Like I said.
So is it a live action show or?
Sorry.
Is it a live show?
No, it's an anime.
Okay.
Anime. I'm reading the manga as well at the minute, so I just want to read that and get further into it. But like I said, like I said, some of it, I don't know if all the humans that they brought into it, some of them are if they are true or not. Some of them, but obviously everyone knows about Jack the Ripper, so he is. But some of them could be. But like I said, obviously they've all been exaggerated and stuff like that. But it is really good. It is like.
I'm literally going to watch that because that sounds well up my street.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. Like I say, you should just give it a watch. Like one of the humans for it is who fights for the humans is Adam. You know, like Adam and Eve. It's Adam. Okay. Like I said, it's Adam for you. Like I said, but you need to give it a watch. Like I won't spoil who wins and stuff like that or who loses, but in the matches so far. But like I said, it is good. It is really good.
I need to apologise because last week I said that the second series of Good Omens was going to come out on the 27th of that month. Yeah. It didn't. It comes out the 27th of this month. So
it's false advertisement there. Like.
Yeah, I apologise, but it's so it's like 2 weeks. Well, around 2 weeks since we've been recording. Actually, I shouldn't say that, should I? It's coming soon. On the 27th of the 7th is when it's
due out.
Yeah,
it's due out. I apologize. Well, I got dead excited and I went to watch and it wasn't there, and I was like, oh, I fucked up.
What was you say? Right, so you know how you go on Facebook and you get adverts for Amazon that's suggesting things that you might want to buy, like the complete series of Quantum Leap. You know, like it's often.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Really?
I like Quantum Leap, so like.
So for about past few weeks, this random like BBC miniseries keeps getting suggested to me, and just give a bit of like history. I mean, from Amazon recently I bought the 1977 miniseries of Count Dracula. It's one of my favorite. It's basically the miniseries that got me into reading Dracula, and I've read it every year since 11 years old. So I remember watching that like in 1993 around Easter. It was repeated on BBC Two, and I finally, after years of tracking it down, I managed to get a physical copy of it. Anyway, so Amazon was showing this advert for a show called The Nightmare Man, and I kept thinking, what's this? So, like, I say one Monday morning, wasn't working, so I decided to, just put it on YouTube, because you find a lot of old, like a lot of old BBC shows find their way onto YouTube, but I couldn't find anything. I found a review of it, and it actually looked really good. It's never been shown on the BBC on TV since, but was premiered in 1981 in May. It was like from the people who made Doctor Who, and it was a 4-part miniseries about a small Scottish island, and there's it's basically a sci-fi horror. I won't give it away. It's based on a book called The Child of Vojanoi. So it's a 1981 BBC horror. So it's made by the same people who did the original Doctor Who series. It's got Julia Imrie in it. She played. She's been in loads of things, but she played Conor McLeod's girlfriend. Before he became immortal in the original Highlander.
How the fuck did you find this?
I just kept it getting suggested to me on Amazon. So I ended up looking up, and it took me about 2 days, but I managed to find a copy of it to watch. And you know who's in it? many listeners, I mean, basically like my age, might know of this. Maybe like Mike, you'll definitely know this, but have you ever heard of something called Dredd?
Yeah,
TV show, Liverpool one.
Yeah.
So
one of my friends actually used to live in one of the houses they recorded.
So did my auntie. Which one? My auntie lived in Billy's house.
I can't remember which house it was, but when I visited, sometimes like if they were recording, we all had to go upstairs while they were recording, and they only used the front door. They just literally walk in and out the front door, and everything else was on set. But they get paid like for each time that they like use the front door, they got like 40 quid, which was a lot of money back then. To be fair,
yeah. I think I'm sure the. Well, I'm sure. I like next time I see her, I'll have to ask my auntie because
it backed onto the tracks, didn't it? Like that street backed onto where the railway went past.
Yeah, so it was right. Yeah, so because if you think about where the streets were, you've got the got the Otterspool docks, you got the big docks where we have the mail sorting centre. This is back in the 80s, not there anymore. But it was like a big sheer rock face then, wasn't it? So
yeah, pretty much.
There was high walls, fence with spikes on them. That's what I remember.
I say, one of my friends used to live there. Well, he moved from Runcorn to there, and we would visit them quite often. And yeah, it was mad. They filmed Dredd. Literally, just like there was a couple of times. I think it was like 2 times I was there, and like ushered upstairs. Like you have to go upstairs now. They're recording. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So the dad, Freddie Boswell, he was he had a part in this Nightmare Man. But it's I think the DVD on Amazon costs about £50. The cheapest I've seen it is about 18. That's on CEX because it's out of print now. So I managed to track it down elsewhere, obviously. But if you ever get a chance to see it, you can find it in the deepest, darkest sides of the internet or want to pay £18, I'd recommend it. It was brilliant. And I'd really love to read the book. I think a copy of the book costs about £50 because that's out of print as well. But yeah, the book's called The Child of Vodjanoy and the TV adaptation is called Nightmare Man. So that's what I've pretty much been watching on that. And I've been watching, I've been binging 911 Lone Star on Disney Plus, which I absolutely fucking love. It's good and it's just balls to the wall and insane some of the episodes. So yeah, it's quite entertaining.
And just for anybody who wants to know what the name of the street that Dredd was filmed in, it was Ellswick Street at Dingle. And
I will ask my auntie because I'm pretty sure my dad always told me that the production team bought the house off my auntie.
Yeah, and I mean, like I say, they would only use the front door of my friend's house, and apparently they shot all around Liverpool, but like that particular street was the front doors. It's very it's interesting, but it was a terrible show.
I liked it. I used to look forward to watching it when I was a kid.
Well, it's like fucking Neighbours and like Emmerdale. It's just I will knock them. I don't like soaps. I just think they're boring.
I used to love Neighbours when I was a kid.
I can't stand them. That thing that came on before cartoons came on.
What was that?
That thing that came on before your cartoons came on. It was shite.
No, Neighbours was usually after the cartoons.
No, they did too.
6 o'clock news.
Oh yeah. Sorry, they come on after, didn't they? So they do one in the morning around about 10 a.m. They do a re-showing around about 5. And like you just ruined my day. Just stop my cartoon for your shitty show.
Well, not really. It was just before the 6 o'clock news, so that's when you switched over to BBC and watched like one of the sci-fi shows. I
could have got another half-hour cartoons.
Well, kids, we weren't as lucky as kids are today because when we were kids, it was you had either Saturday mornings and you had like 2 channels to choose
Yeah,
from.
like
That
there
was
wasn't
BBC
really.
and
Yeah,
ITV.
exactly. Someone was shutting off my cartoons, and like so they could put adult programs on. I was like, fuck off. There wasn't any other choice, and I had to go. That's when you went out and played outside because there was shit all else to do.
Sure.
I'll go,
If he was a boy, he would have had nothing else to play with.
No, saying that, I had computers since I was 4 years old. I had a computer, so could play on my computer.
I was gonna say, yeah, but just quickly going back to Neighbours. I remember watching. I think it was on like Pick TV or something. A year or two ago.
No idea what Pick TV is. What is Pick TV?
I think it's like a
Was that a
freeview channel. I don't
cable?
watch that.
Was it like a cable channel?
I think it's not cable. It's like just a digital channel now.
Sky?
Cable doesn't exist.
I've never heard of that.
It's either Sky, but yeah, it just used to show
Cable
like
and
old.
Sky came out around about the same time. So
Yeah.
B Sky B came first, and then that obviously became Sky. But I think cable came out with what was it called now? They bought Virgin out, didn't? Well, Virgin bought them out.
Oh, it was
genuinely, my brain's
little boxes. Oh,
yeah. Because you can still find them in some places. You can still actually see the boxes. Was it
NTL?
NTL.
NTL. Yeah. It was NTL, and then it was cable,
and
it was cable and something before that.
Oh yeah, it was cable and it had the little world symbol.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. But,
we're old.
We are old. But when I was watching, I think I was what I'd watch Dredd, and then you'd see like parts of the you recognise. Like a lot of it was like shot up. A lot of my family lived in the Dingle, so I'd always recognise some of the roads. But I think one of the things that really stuck out to me was when Billy, the youngest, went to get money out of a cash machine. But it was one of those. I remember because in the Runcorn shop city where we grew up, I think it's the Royal Bank of Scotland, and I remember it distinctly because they had like a Perpex screen that used to like lift before you could use the machine.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it wasn't. I don't know if it was like just what my parents called it.
You put your card in first, and then the screen would lift. And the card reader was separate, so you'd put your card in, and then the screen would lift. That way, it couldn't get dirty. Why don't they do that now?
I don't know.
It was fucking genius.
Yeah.
Probably because people could break them quite easily and cost a lot, but it was brilliant for hygiene because the only way you could touch it was if you put your card in first.
Yeah. That's a fair point. That what was I going to say? Right now, I don't know if it's something my parents used to say, but they used to call it the hole in the wall. And used to call it the cash machine. It always used to be needs to the hole in the wall. Was that something that your parents used to use?
Yeah. Well, I've got a story about this.
I still say hole in the wall.
My uncle used to be a taxi.
Yeah.
My uncle used to be a taxi driver in Liverpool. He was a black cab driver, and a guy jumped into the back of his taxi and he was like, I need you to take me to the hole in the wall. And he was like, oh, okay. So he took him to like the nearest cash machine. And the guy was like, why are you stopping here? And he went, well, you said you need to use the hole in the wall. He said, well, no, the hole in the wall pub. And there is literally a pub in Liverpool called the Hole in the Wall.
That is amazing.
And he was like, "Oh fuck!" So you had to sort of like reimburse them a little bit.
That's amazing. That's absolutely.
Oh no, there's a better story though. Same uncle. He's a bit thick, to be honest with you. This uncle. I hope he doesn't listen to this. He won't. But there was one time as well in Liverpool, they started renovating all the streets and like sort of like bring them up into like better. So in Belle Vale, they started renaming all the closes and doing them up and like doing all the houses up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was in the taxi, driving the taxi, and the guy jumped in and he was like, "Can you take me to such and such street?" And he went, "I don't know where that is." And he went, "Well, it's in Belle Vale." And he went, "Yeah, I live in Belle Vale. I don't recognize that name of that street. You might want to maybe jump in another taxi." Then he got home and he said to his wife, "I had this guy in the taxi today and he asked me where this street is." And he said the name of the street, and she said, "It's the street you fucking live in, you dickhead." They changed the name of the street and he didn't realize. The original Uncle Dave.
No, my word. Okay, now.
I hope he doesn't listen to this.
Okay, I think that's perfect. I think it's a perfect way to end that bit and move on to the main part of the episode. Okay, so after that wild tangent we all just went on, this week we are talking about the seminal British comic book series, Judge Dredd. I'll be honest.
Many people probably wouldn't even realise it was British.
No. So it's part of the 2000 AD comics. It didn't appear in the first issue. Actually, appeared in the second one.
Yep.
So, as our resident expert, Mike, do you want to give us a bit of a breakdown of the story?
I mean, I can sit and read Wikipedia if you want. But what do you want me to tell you about it?
Okay, what's the basic story?
The basic story is that it's been a long time since I've done my research. So basically, the idea is it's set in the future. Crime's absolutely gone off the rails. So they've basically give these judges the power to set a crime on somebody. So if they're committing a crime, they can tell them you're committing this crime. Then also them through the trial process instantly and decide what their sentence is. Sometimes
so basically the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Exactly. So they get to choose instantly what to do. So if it means executing somebody, execute them, because you've decided it's hammer down, you're gone. If it's you're going to go to prison, you're going to go to prison. You're going to get locked up. And they're fucking tooled up to the fucking nines as well, with amazing armor and amazing guns. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, I'd probably just say, I mean, what I can go from what I remember is that it's based in the post-apocalyptic future. The remains of mankind don't live in the world. Most of the world's been wiped out by nuclear war, and a lot of what's left of society who aren't in the radioactive wasteland live in these big mega cities. And Judge Dredd
it's called Mega City 1. So yeah.
But now I might be completely wrong about this, and what I would say so I know from the story from the movie, the first movie that we'll get onto a little bit later on the film, and a little bit later on the episode, is that Judge Dredd is he is a clone, so he was cloned to be the perfect judge.
Yeah, he's got his brother Rico as well.
Yeah,
in the original comic books, he wasn't.
Really?
No. So, in the original comic books, they would actually give him like lips, though, and that was to make him because it was all black and white. All of the comic books were black and white. They didn't really want to give him a race, so they would give him big lips and make him look like it was impossible to tell what racial person he was. So, but no, they did not specify that he was a clone in the early comics.
Okay, well, that's me corrected like that. But I do know this fact. I just had to double check it just to make sure. So yeah, so the comics actually are done in real time. You know how Spider-Man's. I'm constantly reading this.
They were quite small, to be honest with you. The original comics were like 2 pages,
like just
most, or like, 1 page.
Like I think spread. Yeah, because 2000 AD was just basically a compendium, wasn't it? So it was just like lots of different stories.
Yeah, so basically they would publish in like the Mirror, I think it was. Was it the Mirror? Yeah. In the Mirror newspaper, they would publish like 1 page, and they'd post, or maybe like a 2-page spread of 2 different comics. But yeah, Judge Dredd would get 1, and it would be so small, like it'd be like scene, done.
I'm just reading here, just some like facts about the comics. So Judge Dredd actually, since the first issue, the first like appearance of him, it's like he's aged in real time. So every year passes by in reality, a year passes by in the comics. So he's a young street judge, at the beginning of the series, and by at this point now he'd be 72 years old. Which is which is a fact that's always stuck out to me, because like characters like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Batman, they would just always basically just say the same age.
Stay the aim. Yeah. But he did age. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether that was easier or more difficult. Imagine doing that on well, I don't know whether, I think it was a weekly thing, because I think it was only on in the Sunday Mirror. So I think it was just a weekly thing. I think it was just a weekly thing, in all honesty. I remember reading it as a kid. I remember my granddad passing me that piece of newspaper and going, "Here's Judge Dredd. You read that now." So I was obsessed with it, because my granddad would always pass me that piece of the newspaper and go, "Here we go. Here's the comics." And I would sit there and read them. And Garfield was in it as well, I think, in the same... In either that or it's in a different one, and you just hand me that as well. But I remember my granddad handing me that Judge Dredd and Garfield to read, and I would sit there and read them every weekend.
I remember me great aunt, me grandmother's sister. She used to work in a paper shop. She she'd bring you like magazines, so like Beano, Dandy, stuff like that, ones that didn't sell. Yeah. One year she brought I think it was like maybe an annual at the end, but it wasn't hardback like the annuals we had when we were kids. It's more like a softback. It was a book, but it was softback. I was just compendium of different things, like the stories of Judge Dredd. And I remember being about 10 at the time, so I can't remember what any of the stories are about, but I ended up taking it into to primary school. Your own reading time.
Well,
in school, and the teachers took it off me because it was too violent.
I bought the first so many years not long ago, and there's it's the one of 5, and it's so thick, it's unbelievable. It's there's so many Judge Dredd comic strips. This thing spans 5 different massive volumes. So they were putting them out they were putting them out each week. You gotta think this thing was started in 1977.
It was the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 77. So this thing had been going for years, and I wasn't born until 1983. Probably didn't start reading these things until maybe 1987. So that's 10 years past that had already gone.
Yeah.
So it's It's lived its life quite a long time, and it doesn't really get held up like the comic books because it didn't really have the comic book status. It didn't have actual comic books. It has now. Later on, it became a comic book. They sold, but at first it was just literally just printed in a newspaper.
So I'm just reading up on some more facts here. So what I've got here, 1 second. So a lot of very famous comic book writers actually got the start on Judge Dredd. So you've got Garth Ennis, who created Preacher.
Yeah.
He worked on it.
Fucking hell.
Let me just get the others up. Give me a second. Yeah, so it was where the bloody hell is it? Just that up now.
Preacher is absolutely. We know how huge Preacher is.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant show. Yeah, so you got all these very famous, some of the biggest names in comic books, who actually wrote for Judge Dredd. And you got Garth Ennis, who wrote Preacher. You got Mark Miller, created Kick-Ass, Wanted.
Yeah.
Even and Grant Morrison, who did.
I don't know Grant Morrison.
He did. Grant Morrison. He wrote.
All-Star Superman and Batman Incorporated.
He's Craig's obviously read the same source as I am. So he also wrote. Oh, what's it? Arkham Asylum, the serious place on a serious. The Arkham Asylum, the great arty horror.
Some of the greats basically have been
basically
started out just doing Judge Dredd, and yet Judge Dredd doesn't really get that much push by people. People don't seem to like it, and I don't understand why. Because I've read a lot of it, and I started to read a lot of it. It's fucking brilliant. It is gruesome. Yeah. It's dark. It's everything you'd want from DC, but darker, and it's fucked up. So I don't get why it didn't take off. Probably because it was like parents looked at it and went, "Actually, that's a bit too dark for you." I'll take that away.
No, I'd say Judge Dredd is just. I mean, he's mainstream, but he's just not big mainstream. He's had massive crossovers. He's done crossovers with Alien vs Predator. Yeah. He's had crossovers with Batman.
Yeah.
He's had movies. He's had video games. He's had.
It's not a very big thing though. Compared to what I suppose. They don't really have it's not owned by any big media company, so it's not owned by Disney like Marvel is now. And Marvel was big anyway before that. Aren't DC owned by
DC's Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers, yeah, that's the one. And so there's no major corporation that's behind them to push it. So it's one of them. It's just sitting there, and it's so good, and it could be so much better.
They should do because there needs to be a sequel to that.
Oh, to Dredd.
To Dredd.
It
was awesome.
There needs to be a sequel to Dredd.
It was awesome. Like I said, it was brilliant.
So should we get into the film then? The first film, anyway.
The first film.
Yeah. You're on about the.
No.
The guy who never takes his helmet off.
I don't really want to do this.
Taking his helmet off 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, fucking terrible version of Judge Dredd. Some of it's good, to be fair. Some of it's good.
Some of it is good, like I said. Don't get me wrong.
The story's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't deny that, but his version of Judge Dredd is incredibly wrong, and yet he looks the part. He does, but he does not play him like Judge Dredd.
No,
Judge Dredd is calculated and thoughtful, and he does care about people. Whereas Stallone plays him as if somebody who doesn't give a shit. And that's not how Judge Dredd is. Judge Dredd is genuinely, he does care.
Although, like, I think that first movie suffers from what I've always said as well. They've tried to, like I said, the stuff that works in comics and stuff that just doesn't work in movies, like the massive shoulder pads, works brilliant in the comics. I just didn't think it worked well in the movie.
I'm not bothered. I wasn't that bothered by that, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I was more bothered by his acting as Judge Dredd. It's like, for me, Judge Dredd should be... He's actually quite compassionate. He's not fucking RoboCop.
True.
He is a human who does actually care. He does actually... And he wants to uphold the law. But he's so obsessed with the law that he will literally make a split decision, but he's going to make it quickly. But he does actually care. He's got human feelings. He's not a robot. He's going to go, oh shit, this is fucked up in these situations. But Stallone plays him like a fucking robot.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do it, did he? Stallone or something like that, unless he could take the helmet off, apparently. That's what I've heard.
Or so he could show his face.
Yeah. So, double whammy.
I don't want to fucking like shit on Stallone because there's a lot of Stallone films that I do like, but no, you shit.
What I will say about this film, it is a massive guilty pleasure for me. It's a film I do enjoy watching.
I like it, and I like many parts of it. I just don't like Stallone as Judge Dredd. I think he's terrible. The rest of the actors, the rest of the film and the storyline is brilliant. Him as Judge Dredd is terrible.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go later on, like towards the end of the episode, I'm going to go into something that I think that somebody did mention when I was doing some research on YouTube and watch some reviews of the film. And it's a theory I actually really agree with, but I'll talk about that much later on. But yeah, I think the costumes are brilliant. The design, I mean, even the robots and that robot who was the sidekick of Judge Rico.
Yeah. He's a clone. Yeah.
They're from the war.
So basically, Judge Rico's a clone from Joe Dredd's DNA. So yeah. So pretty much identical to Joe Dredd, but younger.
Psychotic.
Yeah, and completely fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Judge Dredd movie is the 1995 one. It's a guilty pleasure. It's very accurate. I mean, the costumes very accurate to the film, to the comics.
They are,
like the robots, very accurate to the comic. I mean,
that's what I was saying before. Like, it is accurate to the comic, but I just don't think it works for the movie. Like I said, like some bits I do enjoy that movie and that, but I just don't like it. Like,
yeah,
it's what those type of movies that try to make it from a comic book or something like that. They try to be too accurate to the comic or whatever they're taking it from, and some things do work.
Right.
And some don't. And like those massive shoulder pads just don't work. And like when we get to the next movie,
it looks stupid. Like it just doesn't work. Like
I said, in a comic, works brilliant. In a film, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. In the next movie, like I said, his uniform is perfect.
And it's not that, and it's exactly, it just fits him perfectly.
And like literally all they did for the gold is they just called it in gold plate on the top of it. It's like a soft gold plate that they called in on the top of it, and it's just brilliant. That's all you need. You don't need something that's absolutely.
So I was doing a bit of reading up on the film when we first getting prepared to do the episode a few months ago, and then like this week as well. So it was made. So the film's directed by Danny Cannon. Now, interesting thing I did find out about Danny Cannon was he was the showrunner for CSI, the original CSI series.
No,
really?
Never watched it anyway.
You never watched the original CSI with
No.
I've watched some of it. I wasn't a big fan. to be honest with you.
Right.
I watched. I had an ex-girlfriend who was obsessed with it.
Yeah, me too.
And oh my god, it was boring to me. It was the same show every episode. Like, didn't like it.
Well, I mean,
somebody's. What the hell is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Craig,
it's probably me.
Jamaica?
I don't know. I didn't even do anything.
It went. Like it sounded like somebody opened a can of Coke.
No, I didn't even do anything. I turned my head. That's it.
I go and see a doctor then if your
Jesus
head.
Christ.
Yeah, it was my neck. It wasn't the mic. It was my neck.
He's like, I've got Apple earphones. I've got Apple earphones. These are fucking amazing. No,
Yeah.
no.
I'll go back to my Bluetooth ones next week.
But he's not made many films. He's made 6 films throughout his career. He's mainly worked in TV. He's done work on Gotham, CSI Miami, CSI New York, 11th Hour, The Forgotten, Dark Blue, Nikita, Shameless, the American one, not British.
Worked on Nikita.
The TV series, Pennyworth, and that new shitty one called Gotham Knights.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the showrunner for that as well, apparently, the executive producer. But he made like 2 other, another one of my guilty pleasure films. And he made a film that I used to love watching. And that was a film called Goal. And it's from 2005 about a young Mexican lad who comes over to play for Newcastle United. You ever seen it?
Haven't. But I want
No, it's
to
a really
now.
good film.
No, that sounds like a fucking really good film. Is that like one of the Channel 4 like specials or something?
I think it was made by Channel 4, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it because I love films like that. Like, there's so many good films that have been made by Channel 4 that they've invested in people and just gone, yeah, we'll let you make it. We'll pay for it. There's so many fucking good films that they've done. One of my favorite ones was Purely Belter. I think it was called. No, it is. It's called Purely Belter, and it was about 2 little lads that were massive like Newcastle fans, and they are little tearaways basically, and they go into like correction stuff. Thank you. They and in the correctional facility, they say to them, well, if you do good for like a month, we'll get you tickets for the game. And they're like, okay. And they do great in the game. They do great for like a month. And they give them Sunderland tickets.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, no. They give them tickets to see Sunderland versus Newcastle, but in the Sunderland end. It's so fucked. It's like, but right at the start of the TV show, literally they're just chatting to each other, going, "Go on, dig it up now, dig it." Basically, they've sneaked into Newcastle's ground and they're stealing the penalty spot, and he buries it. He puts it in his mum's front garden. It's so fucking good.
Just look on here. I mean, Film 4's made so many brilliant films, like the In-Betweeners movies, Shaun the Dead.
Genuinely, like some of the best fucking films ever. Like genuinely, like some of the best films ever. I've been
Trainspotting.
Attack the Block. I think that was Channel 4 as well.
I mean, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
The Banshees, that one that was like up for like all the Oscars. The Banshees of Inisherin as well. That was produced by Film 4 as well.
Yeah. The fact is, they literally put money into decent films that would not get. They wouldn't get made otherwise. They wouldn't have the money to make them. But
no,
Channel 4 are like, yeah, we'll put money into it. You've got to fucking give Channel 4 fucking credit. They are fucking the TV channel that actually gives back.
Yeah.
The TV channel that like made the Paralympics actually focused on. Until Channel 4 actually focused on the Paralympics, nobody else did.
No, I suppose you're right there, yeah.
No, they did. They did. Nobody else focused on the Paralympics until Channel 4 did. They genuinely, they are the best TV channel, and they give back to the community so much, and people don't even realize it. They genuinely are the best TV channel.
Okay, well, I think we've gone back on another tangent. Let's
we have definitely gone off on a tangent. We've gone on.
Before we move on to the 2012 film, can we talk about Judge Rico?
What would you like to talk about, Judge Rico?
Because Amanda Sante, who played Judge Rico, I think possibly tried to chew the scenery more than Sylvester Stallone did. I think is
she does a bit. To be fair, she does a bit. Like she does.
He hammed it up massively. Yeah. Like when he thought you betrayed the law, and he goes, "No," and he does an impression of him, and it just every time I watch it, it cracks me up.
I think that was done on purpose, and I think it was funny, to be honest. But yeah. I don't know, like you have to like.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. To be fair, yeah. And maybe it was done on purpose, and maybe you don't know. I've not watched any of these sort of like behind the scenes stuff or anything like that. So,
yeah, but I mean, I remember when I used to buy, when DVDs first came out, and when they had all like the extras, all the documentaries.
No, I've literally got I have it on DVD with all the extras. I've just never watched the extras. But I should sit there and watch them. I will sit there and watch them, and I will find out whether that was intentional.
Yeah.
I think it probably was.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think my favorite part of that film was that scene when Judge Dredd and Rico are having the confrontation, and he just goes, "You betrayed the law," and he goes, "The law." It's just, it just every time I see it, it cracks me up. I probably am. And for the listeners at home or out and about, I am just gonna right now after this, I'm just gonna play a quick clip of it, of that bit soundbite for that, just so they can hear it for themselves. Okay then, so one last thing as well. What the fuck were they doing putting Rob Schneider in that film?
Trying to make it good.
To be fair, Rob Schneider doesn't actually play a bad character in it.
I didn't like the fact that he put a comic relief in it.
What? Why?
I think it just. I don't know.
It was always no. You're wrong. You're wrong here, because there was always comic relief in the comic books. There was always a random guy like who was a little bit wacky in the background, saying something stupid. So if you read the original comic books, I will. Do you know what? I'm going to lend you the first edition. All the comic books that they actually released. They weren't comic books, but comic strips that they released. I'll lend you that, and then you tell me afterwards whether that was a good idea or a bad idea. It was a good idea because that happened a lot in the comic strips. Someone would say something stupid in the background and just be like comic relief. You can't.
Okay.
You can't criticize them for actually being accurate to the comic book.
Okay. I will say this as well. Just one last point. They did actually kill him off in the original cut of the film, but they actually brought him out and they did a reshoot.
To be fair, he should be dead.
Yeah. So let's move on to Dredd from 2012, starring Keith Urban, from Star Trek, from Lord of the Rings. Keith Urban. Carl. Oh,
You mean Carl Urban?
Carl Urban.
Where the fuck Keith come from?
Keith Urban. Keith Urban's the Cole Kidman's husband, the Australian country
Where
western
the
singer.
fuck does Keith come from?
Oh, Carl Urban.
Okay.
I'd go gay for Carl Urban.
He is a handsome bugger.
He is. Like,
Okay,
I would bend over, spread my cheeks, and be like, "Carl, come inside."
Dry too.
No. Oh.
Push it in, motherfucker.
Yeah, please stop. Fuck, we're on it. Yeah, so let's go back. Let's backtrack a little bit. So yeah, in 2012 there was a remake called Dredd, or Dredd 3D, when it was released in certain cinemas.
Yeah, and it is actually better in 3D.
It is good. It's because it's made for that 3D window as well, ain't it?
It wasn't until recently that I actually watched it in 3D via using my Oculus the Quest 2. You can download it in 3D and watch it with the Quest 2 like you're sitting in the cinema. Oh my god, it's so much better.
Yeah,
and it's a great film. It's a great fucking film anyway.
Yeah.
But the 3D is impeccable. Like, it's genuinely the best 3D film I've ever watched in my life.
It's a good film. It's what you need in a Dredd movie. Shoot them up. That's all you need. Like, it's just one of those.
It's a Dredd film. Like,
yeah,
what do you expect?
Like, he pulls the face off brilliantly, Carl. The outfits are brilliant to it. His weapons are brilliant. Like I said, and the whole bit, and it's literally just shot in a building. Like, it's kind of like Die Hard.
Talks to his gun. Like, tells his gun what to do. Like, it's so fucking good.
It's literally just shot in a building, and that's good. Like just how you could just make something being shot in one building and make a full movie and make it really good.
And it's specifically brilliant. And there should be a sequel
to it. There should be.
If there isn't a sequel, we should write it.
Well, to be fair, I think they have been trying to make a sequel. They are trying to do a live action TV series, which Carl Urban has said he would like to appear in it as Dredd. It's called Mega City 1, I think.
No. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a live action TV series. No, fuck that. I want to see a film, a full-fledged film. I don't want to see a fucking live action TV series with different fucking judges. I want to see Carl Urban playing Judge Dredd, kicking ass as per usual. I don't want to watch a Judge Dredd fucking side story. That's not why I'm into Judge Dredd. I'm into Judge Dredd because of Judge Dredd.
It is good.
He's the specific reason I watch it.
See,
because he's lethal.
What I've always thought is a weird thing in that movie, though, as well, like the drug slow-mo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When she dies at the end, Mama, when she gets thrown off the top,
when she goes through the glass.
Well, she hits the concrete. Well, he throws her over the balcony.
He throws her through. He throws her through the glass window, doesn't he?
No, he just throws her over the balcony. It's he doesn't throw. She's got a tracker on a heartbeat, and he just throws her over the balcony.
Yeah. Because like she says, like
it's all rigged to blow up.
It's all rigged to blow up, so he just shoves her off.
Yeah, he's basically like he's like, will the signal get through like some amount of concrete
from this distance?
Yeah, but he gives a slow mo from the just as he falls down, and it basically makes your brain move slow, feel like it's moving slower, doesn't it? So basically, I know it probably stops straight away when it hits the floor, but obviously, by the time she hits the floor, in her head, she's still at the top, seeing it. So do you reckon the brain still works a bit though until it catches up, or do you think it stops straight away then once it goes splat?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That's what I mean. It is weird to think that it is meant to make the brain feel like it's moving slower. So basically, when she hits the floor, she's still basically
she would have. died like quarter of the way down.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
And just be completely out.
That's what I mean. So the time she hits the
wouldn't have
floor,
experienced
her
the higher...
brain's still like 3/4 of the way up, isn't it?
Well,
so that's what
what
I mean.
if it's no? What if it's yeah? But thing is, though, I've taken magic mushrooms, and it does have that effect of feeling like it's time slowed down, but not actually. So it could just be that you perceived it, your brain perceived it that way, but it wasn't actually.
Yeah.
So
no, it's just one. It's something that I was trying to figure out. I mean, it's like one of those weird things. Like, does it actually?
It could just be that like that your brain perceived it as being slow, and
True.
actually just went just normal speed.
Right. I think me and you have had very different experiences with magic mushrooms.
I've taken them many times.
Okay, I've only taken them once, and once was enough. Did I ever tell you the story of what happened?
Yeah, fucking wimp.
Yeah, did I ever tell you the story of what happened?
No.
Okay, so it was the summer. It was the summer. I was about maybe 18, 19. It was at a friend's house. We were watching American Werewolf in London. I hate that film anyway, because if anybody knows me,
I love that film.
I've got a thing about yellow eyes.
I'm gonna hate you. I mean, okay, you can't hate American Werewolf.
I don't hate it. It's one of the most it's one of the most terrifying films I've seen, and I think because at a young age I saw Michael Jackson's Thriller. You know the bit where he falls to the ground, turns around, he's got bright yellow eyes and a mouthful of teeth.
Well, yeah, because that's scary, isn't it? Like, but American Werewolf. How did you fucking connect that with American Werewolf in London?
Because he has that dream when he's in the middle of the forest in the hospital bed. He opens his eyes. He's got bright mouthful of sharp teeth and bright yellow eyes, and that's always just haunted me ever since.
It's not the same.
It is. So anyway, so we have a mushy brew, and I decided to walk home from Frodsham all the way to my house in Runcorn.
That was your first mistake.
Middle of summer.
That was your first mistake. Walking home on your own after taking magic mushrooms.
Okay, right. So I decided to take a shortcut over Frodsham Golf Course.
That's not a shortcut.
Okay, well, you know what, I was...
Yeah, you were a mushroom.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so next thing you know, I just heard this big crack. And so I'm walking across these fields, pitch black, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's a thunderstorm going on with me. I'm absolutely soaked, and all I can hear is this growling behind me. And for some reason, I just see this breath. I just remember bolting it across speed, too scared to look behind me, and just bolted. And I jumped through a hedge. So I leapt through this hedge. I was covered in cuts, and I startled this young couple. And I just screamed at them and said, "Run, run! The werewolf's gonna burn me." So I shot up like.
You shot up?
No, I shot. I shot up the road like a bat out of hell, all the way through Sutton Weaver, across Brookvale, and I didn't make it home. I woke up. You know the woods near Runcorn East Station.
Oh yeah.
It's before it's all been gentrified now. It's got like a nice little path through it.
Yeah.
In a ditch. The next morning, covered in mud, covered in cuts. I remember walking through me. I mean, luckily my parents were away at the time, and but the neighbours saw me, and they must have saw me as a stake. So I was just covered head to toe in mud.
What the hell? Like, how do you get that bad? Right. I'll tell you one thing that happened to me on magic mushrooms, which was incredibly funny. It was like probably the third time I'd taken them. I was over at a friend's house, and it was New Year's Eve. And he had a load of magic mushrooms, and we cooked them up, and we made ourselves some drinks, and we were sitting there drinking them. and we finished them. Then we had a few joints, smoked a bit of weed, but then his parents came back early. They were having an argument. His parents came back early and were having an argument, and they were absolutely going at each other. Like they were not happy, and we were like, we should probably leave because we were staying in this lad's room, and there's like 7 of us, and I was like, I think we should leave because this is not very good. Then his mum banged on the door and went, "Your mates have to go," and we were like, "Okay, well, we have to go." We'd not long taken these mushrooms, so I rang a taxi for myself. Taxi came, got in the taxi, heading home. It was only from Sutton Weaver to like Norton, so it was not too long. And the taxi driver, as he was driving me home, I started coming up off the mushrooms, and the taxi driver started going, "I am not to pick you up just from round the corner for taking you to 2 minutes and expecting to get no money whatsoever. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid? I am not just picking you up from one place and taking you just around the corner." And I'm in the back going, what the fuck? This guy's shouting at me. Why is he shouting at me? So I went, well, tell you what, just drop me off here. And I'll just walk it. And he turned around, looked at me, put his hand on his ear and went, I'm talking on my headset. He was talking to his brother. His brother was asking him to pick him up. And I was freaking out. Yeah, oh, no. It gets even fucking better. Like, we got back, and I said to the taxi driver, "I'm sorry, I've took magic mushrooms, and that's why I'm out of it a little bit." Paid him. I gave him a fucking good tip. I went back into my parents' house that I was living in at the time, but it was New Year's Eve, and it was getting towards 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock hit, and obviously all the fireworks go off, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I kept all the lights off in the house, and I was walking around the house. It felt like I was walking through ghosts. I was walking around the house, and it felt like there was ghosts walking through me. And I could hear all the fireworks going off, and I could see the flashes and stuff. And I was just sort of I was so mesmerized by these millions of ghosts that were just walking through me, and it was insane.
It's weird you saying about millions of ghosts walking through you, because I got the Blade movie on, and it's the bit where Deacon Frost has all those weird bats flying through him towards the end.
It was so fucked up. It was I could actually feel them moving through me, each person, as I was moving forward. All right, keep that one in, then, Ian.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think we'll keep these stories in, definitely.
If you want to keep a story in, tell them about my splinter rat.
Oh, fucking hell, you didn't explain that.
No, there's no explaining it. I can only send the video. Mike will have to watch it. I'll put it on the thing here now. Let's have a look.
Oh my god! I found a CD the other day, and it was a video that I made in college where I was the actor, and it's called The Hot Date. And
you told us about the story. I think you told us about this, so you told me about it. Anyway.
I've actually found the CD
of
the recording. Yeah, it's in QuickTime, and it's terrible quality, but I found a copy of it. So
have a quick look at that.
That is something that we need to you guys need to definitely see this.
Like I said, have a quick look at that video that I've just put on the chat. I can listen to the noise.
I've seen this.
You can't have seen it.
Oh. I'm watching it now. Sorry.
You'll hear a noise in a minute.
Yeah. Sounds like a marble rolling. Told you, I've got studio headphones.
So basically, that's it. Then you don't hear anything else much after that.
Oh, it's just a marble rolling.
But yeah, it's quite loud, ain't it?
Yeah.
So, my family used to own a furniture shop in Widnes called Sexton's, and my auntie rents the building out to someone else now. And the woman who was there sent that video to my auntie. In the cellar, that's a rat dragging a glass bottle around. So
nice.
It's not a marble. It's a rat dragging a glass bottle around.
Do you know what's really funny?
Splinter from the Turtles.
Do you want to hear something really funny though, Craig? Like when I worked in Balfour Street in the old town, it's like just behind the station. They had a massive rat that kept coming into the shop, and we came in one morning, and there was a loaf of bread that had been taken off the shelves, dragged probably about 20 meters, and half eaten. So we watched the camera. This massive rat comes in, takes this like loaf of bread off the shelf. And it's like the third shelf up. It's not like it's the bottom shelf. It goes for the freshest bread. 3 shelves up, takes it off, drags it across the shop, and starts munching on it. So we were like, what do we do about this? So obviously you call the exterminators. And they came, and their idea was put glue boards down. They were like, the best thing to catch them is glue boards because they get stuck on them and there's literally no way for them to escape. So we'll put glue boards down. So they put glue boards up the top of the stairs, like going into the top of the, because upstairs was like where the toilets were, and there was like a couple of other rooms that were condemned. And downstairs was the shop and the back of the shop. The next day I come into work, and I'm working, and one of the girls goes, I need to go to the loo. I said, well, I'll take over the tills. And then about 3 minutes later, I heard she'd gone up the stairs, literally tripped over, put her knees and her hands straight into one of these fucking sticky rat traps.
Oh.
She was literally stuck to this rat board. Like, fuck's sake. I went up and I was just howling, laughing. She was like, "It's not funny." I was like, "It fucking is."
It is funny.
He's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna have to send you home to wash this off, but like, it's fucking hilarious. It was fucking stupidly funny. She was stuck to the board completely, hands and knees. Silly bitch.
Oh my word. Okay, we need to drag this back in again. We've gone back on another fucking tangent.
Oh well.
Keep it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it in. Trust me, it's fine. I'm gonna keep it in. Just need to
you said
pull
the
it back
movie's
in.
good. That's it. It just needs a sequel.
Yeah, I don't think we've said anything bad.
Okay, well, I am gonna present my. Before we wrap up, I'm gonna present my idea. Okay, so Keith Urban. Fucking hell, Carl Urban.
Keith Urban, yeah. He did that film, didn't he? Escape from New York. Not fucking deep cuts.
Get out. Okay, so Carl Urban. Yeah, okay. Out of the two portrayals, he is by far the best, especially down to his, the mouth. I'll put this, the mouth acting.
Oh, the mouth, yeah.
The mouth acting was just.
Apparently, he can only do it for so long as well. Looks at it hurt his mouth.
I bet it did. So, Keith Urban. Fuck, I keep saying it again. Oh, what was up in my brain tonight? Right, Carl Urban was real. Was pitch perfect, absolutely brilliant Judge Dredd. Okay, so what I would say is put the actors from Dredd into the storyline from Judge Dredd with all the costumes and sets. And I think that would be the perfect film.
So the actors from Dredd into Judge Dredd?
Yeah, with that storyline, with those sets, with those costumes.
With the original costumes?
Yeah.
No.
Because
really?
The thing is, though,
no.
It
was so bad.
The thing is, like the story, the movie's good if it wasn't basically Judge Dredd, if it wasn't based on it, because the fact that he would have had to take his helmet off, and he doesn't take his helmet off.
I'm saying okay, maybe I'm getting this wrong. But he keeps his helmet on.
But it couldn't. It won't work in that story. It just won't work in that story though. Then because as soon as he gets arrested, he has to take his helmet off. It just won't work.
I did. Yeah, I'm with Craig on this.
Like I said,
you're wrong.
Like I said, it's good as a movie. Like I said, don't be wrong. I think the movie's good, but it shouldn't be called Judge Dredd. It should be just like basically like another movie. But it's just used his name to try and sell.
Dredd was fantastic because it actually kept exactly what the comic book actually wanted to do, and it elaborated on it for film. So it was good. It was actually, it felt like a comic book as well. Like it genuinely did. Like each scene looked like something that you would read from a comic book. It was perfect. I don't think Judge Dredd actually did that. Yes, they followed the style and stuff, but like, does it matter?
I just, it was just a theory that somebody said in a video, and I actually agreed with it. Maybe do a story.
I fully disagree with it.
Okay, well, that's the theory. We can't agree on everything.
Well, that's kind of what this podcast is about.
Sure. Okay, well, let's wrap it up for this week. So we have been talking about Judge Dredd, and the next episode we will be discussing the Indiana
Jones. Yeah.
What the fuck was that, Craig? Please stop it. It sounds absolutely fucking awful.
I know, it's terrible. No, you're talking
right,
about me.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Craig.
No, Craig is doing it wrong. And you were doing it wrong.
Well, I know I was doing it wrong. I was doing it wrong on purpose.
Yeah, but Craig wasn't. You're just getting the wrong. You're doing the notes wrong. That's what you're doing wrong.
Well, yeah, of course I'm doing the notes wrong. I'm not going to be perfect on the fucking notes, am I?
Everybody should be perfect on notes. It's one of the most famous film tunes of all time.
It's actually quite
simple. There you go. See, you got it right there. Perfect. Okay.
I did the exact same before.
But you actually both got it wrong. But okay.
Fuck you, Mike.
You're both tone deaf.
Oh, I'm tone deaf.
Motherfuckers.
Craig, you're tone deaf for like music and impressions.
No, yeah, I know. I can't be shit. I'm good at a lot of other things.
Who does?
I'm just shit.
I can't do impressions either. Like, Ian keeps making me do impressions, but I'm shit at them.
Your Skeletor is spot on.
It's fucking not.
I've had comments saying how brilliant it is.
Why though? Like, it's so bad.
But it's so bad. It's good. It's brilliant. It's perfect. Okay, so I've been Ian Duffy, and I've been joined by Mike Shelshire.
And it's goodbye from me and Skeletor. Your earlobes are the same distance apart as your nipples. And tell me it again.
He's also been joined by Craig Edwards.
Au revoir.
Okay, I will catch you next episode when, like I said earlier, we'll be discussing Indiana Jones. Bye for now.
Sorry.
Michael, you complete boob. The episode is not out until for what time? Sorry, when is it again?
Okay, so Michael, you utter boob. The
I just need the date.
28th of July, 2023.
28th of July. Okay. Michael, you complete boob. The episode is not out until the 28th of July, not June. You complete idiot. You motherfucking stupid motherfucker!
Okay.
Please keep it as that. That's too good.
Okay, yeah, I'm keeping that in. Right, then I better go watch the Indiana Jones films now.
The revolution will not be televised. It will be podcasted. And remember, a hand job from a deaf person counts as oral. Until we meet again.
The These Guys Right Back is brought to you by Studio Grey School.